from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be brought out by their Pro Bowl QB in his 7th year now in the Emerald City. It's Russell Wilson.
So knowing the style of offenses Seattle favored or has favored during Russell Wilson's time there, raise your hand if you thought you'd see him lead the league in touchdown passes.
My hand's down right now.
That's what I thought. He only had 21 in 2016, so we didn't see that part coming. The Seahawks missed the playoffs for the first time in Russell Wilson's tenure last season, but expect that to change going forward.
Yeah, 34 touchdown passes last year on the heels of the 21 you mentioned the season before. And they didn't wait long to take a shot there, that's for sure, but it falls incomplete. And it's second down. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And that'll bring up second down. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And that means my eyes go to Doug Baldwin out on the perimeter. He plays the game so hard and with such passion, but also plays it skillfully. Only one drop last season on his way to another Pro Bowl season.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's got his target. That's more. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. 23 yards on the play.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around to make the play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now it's Carson, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me is balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
He's going to field this at the 4. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their veteran QB, the former Delaware Blue Hen, Joe Flacco.
He's never been known as a quarterback who's had huge numbers year in and year out. In 2017, 18 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, puts him about in the middle of the pack. Yards per game were under 200 yards for the first time since his rookie year. But when you give him a running game and you get him into the playoffs, he's tough to beat.
Now it's Flacco. And his first look is incomplete. The The offensive lineup now, and the guy we highlight, Emmanuel Sanders.
You can use him in any spot as a wide receiver. In the slot, out wide, it doesn't matter. He just makes plays.
After the incomplete pass here now. Is 2nd and 10.
You're over here.
From the gun, Flacco. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Quarterback Shaquille Griffin had a nice rookie year in large part because he was never intimidated. And that came from Richard Sherman, who tutored him in 2017 and said he noticed that early about the young guy, and they just turned him loose.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Flacco from the gun. And able to find Deshaun Hamilton complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. It's the Pro Bowler Jamie Collins that makes the stop. On 2nd down, Flacco to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that's off the mark, incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Here's Flacco. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Broncos have taken the early lead.
Although it's more commonplace now than at any other time in the NFL, it's still tough to think about throwing a rookie quarterback right into the fire week 1. But guess what? He handled the fire awfully well and threw his first touchdown pass.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Well, these Seahawks heading out here on offense. Let's talk about last year. One to forget, Charles, in the Pacific Northwest. 7-9, a seat on the couch in January for these players, and that broke a streak of 5 straight seasons of double-digit victories and a playoff berth.
And I think they lost their identity a little bit along the way. On offense, they've always been a run-first team, established a line of scrimmage, and bludgeon people. They didn't have that at all. Their offense ran through Russell Wilson, and he was magical, led the league in touchdown passes, but they are at their best when they're able to run the ball first and take control. On defense, age caught up with them. The Legion of Boom is no longer the same, and many of those guys will not be with the team in 2018. They will be starting over, but they have a smile on their face. I think this is a challenge that their head coach Pete Carroll relishes, and they look forward to being the underdog in the NFC West.
On 3rd down, It's Carson, and he will have a first down here at about the 40. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. And our statistician, Ben Ramsar, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss rolling in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now because what you're hearing is, can someone please block him? Come up with a scheme. Come up with something. Make sure you block him because he's disrupting everything.
But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. They run it with Carson. And an alley to run. Accelerating, and off he goes. The 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there. 61 yards. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Able to push his way through. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On 3rd down, it's Lenzen. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school, smash mouth football. 23 yards on the play. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage, so as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to Talk to your other...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Bobby Wagner able to run him down for a loss of a yard. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. We're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
That one goes for 24 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll roll him out right. His pass caught at the 4. And he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
The first NFL carry here for the rookie Royce Freeman. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Royce Freeman with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Broncos are in for 6. And a nice little start to the career for the rookie here, hitting the end zone in week 1 of his career.
And that's a true welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it? The one that you actually like. A lot of times it's that big hit from a linebacker that says, all right, Rook, here you are. But when you're able to put it in the end zone and feel that sense of accomplishment, that usually fuels you towards doing it many more times in your career.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in week 1. So do not press that skip button. Now a play fake here on first down. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Broncos will extend their lead. Well, that didn't take long. The turnover instantly almost turning into points.
And when that happens, a lot of teams have the mentality of let's strike right now. You've got them off balance after the turnover or the takeaway. Let's go get it. And that's exactly what they did.
McManus's point after is good, and it's now 21-7. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And the tight end Dixon left side. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Clock running, and the Seahawks, they're running too, trying to speed up to the line of scrimmage. Now Wilson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The tight end Ed Dixon was the target, and it's 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. Well, they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
They go play action here on 1st down. His throw incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Now Brandon McManus for the Bronco field goal. And McManus able to put it through, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. As the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. On third down, Wilson. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up fourth down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of...
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here comes a big tight end as he gets set for this next drive. And what can they do to better account for him? Because they haven't accounted for him well so far as we see here on your screen.
They may have to draw up coverages they haven't run so far. They have to create something on the fly because he's beaten everything. And when you watch this game unfold, you keep thinking to yourself, is it 2 men, 3 men, maybe even a fourth guy may have to go and account for him. But right now, he's shredding the defense.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards. Third quarter starts with a run by Freeman. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. And hang on here, Freeman shaken up. Remaining on the ground after that last play. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. And they'll go on the ground. And an alley run. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Hurry up.
Flacco from midfield, eluding the pressure right. And a throw right sideline is complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Monday. Red. Ready. Red. Let's go, hurry up.
To pass, Flacco. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
Now a handoff looking right. He's to the 10, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great play there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
Now McManus on to kick this one off.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 40. Play action. It's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Here's Carson. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Martin, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to auto.
Pressure up the middle, and down he goes.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the run.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. First and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. Flush to his right. He's going to let this go deep. And that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 56 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Complete out right to Jake Butt. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. And McManus able to put it through, and that will make the lead now 26. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, right at the 30.
Three down. Tight. Waiting.
Play action. Now Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Seahawks on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the shotgun, Wilson. They fights him off. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front, because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say, guys, just a couple seconds extra, please.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Flacco. Flushed it, and he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Cassius Marsh in there to get him for a loss of 5. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now they try the right side here. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. The tackle made by K.J. Wright. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
3rd and long for Joe Flacco. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Nazir Jones coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
And that's the first NFL catch for Courtland Sutton. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. So instead of the incredibly obvious choice of trying to punt it out near midfield, now they've left their defense with no margin for error.
No, 0. And
pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Von Miller in from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field. A short game that doesn't get him the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And Myers able to knock it through. But wait up now. A flag is down. If this is on the defense,
Personal
they're going to get the first.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the
First down.
conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
A lack of discipline defensively on fourth down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10.
Bang out, bang out. Bam, bam. Kool-Aid shot.
On 1st and goal, they'll try the option left. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play, because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. So 1st down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Tight. Line 90.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. A nice run there, 8 yards. Moves him much closer to the goal line now for 3rd down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. The Seahawks on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and goal. From the gun, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
On now is the kicker, Jason Myers, for the field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Myers able to knock it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. On the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And they'll run it here. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column.
Rocket!
2nd down, Flacco now. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now Flacco. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
The Broncos on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Well, I see what they were trying to do there. You pop up your holder, roll them out. You got the option to run or pass. This didn't work.
Not at all. The communication was excellent defensively to make sure that receivers were covered as they escaped from the line of scrimmage, because that's supposed to be a surprise to everyone, and that's how they get free. People forget their assignments on defense. That didn't happen. And think about the guy rolling out with the football, looking for an open person. No one there.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget. Absolutely. And Denver getting set to take the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Now with a play clock at 4, we're going to get a timeout called. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. The fullback Janovich on the handoff. They get the penalty yardage back plus a yard, 6-yard gain, and it's 2nd and 9. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Broncos, that'll be a happy